Learning how to describe your routine in English easily begins with understanding that everyday actions are the foundation of natural conversation. Many learners make the mistake of trying to speak with complex vocabulary before they master the simple phrases that native speakers actually use. Your daily routine is one of the easiest and most practical topics to start with because it uses clear patterns, familiar verbs, and predictable structure. When you describe your routine, you are telling someone what you do every day, how often you do it, and sometimes why you do it. A routine is a sequence of habits, and English describes habits with the present simple tense. This is why sentences such as I wake up at 6 or I go to work by bus become the building blocks of communication. Before learning advanced topics, mastering routine descriptions helps you speak naturally and confidently. Many students feel nervous because they think their life is too ordinary to talk about, but daily life is exactly what native speakers talk about most often. Your morning, your meals, your work, and your evening activities provide endless opportunities to practice English without pressure. The key is to learn the structure, then fill it with details from your own life. Once you understand how to describe your routine, you can talk with anyone because routines are universal. Every person can relate, and every person has their own rhythm of life. That makes this topic one of the most valuable tools for building fluency. Another essential part of learning to describe your routine in English is expanding your vocabulary in a natural and meaningful way. Instead of memorizing long lists of words, begin by focusing on the verbs that describe your real actions. Words such as wake up, get dressed, cook, study, work, check email, exercise, relax, watch television, or go to sleep are used every day. These verbs become powerful when you place them in simple sentences. Over time, you will be able to combine them with time expressions such as in the morning, after lunch, every evening, or before bed. These expressions help your listener understand the timing and flow of your day. Once you become comfortable with basic descriptions, you can add more detail to sound natural. You might describe how long an activity takes, how you feel while doing it, or why it is important to you. For example, instead of saying I exercise, you can say I exercise for 30 minutes because it helps me feel energetic. This type of explanation makes your English sound more fluent and expressive. Another helpful step is learning how to connect your ideas smoothly. Using simple transitions such as then, after that, next, and finally allows your routine to sound like a story rather than separate sentences. When you speak, these small connectors give your words rhythm and help your listener follow along easily. The more you practice this structure, the more confident you become describing what you do every day in a clear, natural way. The final stage of learning how to describe your routine in English easily is practicing how to personalize your answers. Many learners rely on memorized lines that sound unnatural and robotic. To speak confidently, you must make your routine descriptions reflect your real life. This means choosing words that fit your lifestyle, schedule, and personality. When you personalize your routine, your English becomes authentic. You might mention what time you actually wake up, how you truly feel about your job or studies, or small habits that make your day unique. Describing your routine also teaches you how to talk about your preferences and attitudes. You learn to express ideas such as I usually drink tea because it relaxes me, or I often study in the evening because it is quiet. These small personal touches create deeper, more meaningful conversations. Another important part of mastering this skill is practicing aloud. Speaking your routine daily, even for a few minutes, trains your brain to produce English automatically. The more you speak, the easier it becomes to create sentences without translating in your mind. Eventually, describing your routine becomes effortless, and you can respond naturally in conversations, interviews, or speaking tests. As you continue practicing, you will notice your fluency growing and your confidence rising. Describing your routine may seem simple, but it is one of the strongest foundations for building real communication skills. When you can talk about your everyday activities clearly and confidently, you unlock the ability to express yourself in almost any situation.